Welcome back to Afternoon Express, this glorious Monday afternoon. Now, protecting children from violence, exploitation and abuse is not only a basic value, but also an obligation for every single citizen in the country. Here to shed some light on child safety care and protection is Nontando Magxala, a social worker from Wandisa Adoption Agency. Nontando, welcome to Afternoon Express.
Thank you so much for having me.
I spent the morning reading up on some of the work that you do, and you are literally an angel on earth. Do you know that?
Thank you.
You are such an exceptional, exceptional person. Why don't you tell us about some of the work that you do at Wandisa?
We actually offer a wide range of child protection services. We actually protect children from the time before they're even born, because we walk a journey with mothers who are pregnant in crisis, mothers who are frightened and do not have any options. We work with mothers who can't care for the children or who do not want to care for their children. We also work with children who are in crisis, abandoned children who do not have families. We respond to such cases. We remove them, because on a normal day you will find a child, you will hear a child while sitting in the office, you will get a telephone call that a child has been abandoned, either on a bin or in a shop or anywhere at all. So we're the first ones to respond to such.
And what is your course of action? Like, what happens? A baby, like somebody would have put a baby in a bin.
Yes.
Firstly, I mean, you're going to have to paint that picture for us, because I cannot believe how that can happen. So what is, I mean, how do you respond and what is the course of action?
Firstly, when we get a call, when the case gets reported to us, we rush to the scene and we do inform the police. So once the child has been taken from the place, we rush them to the hospital for medical assessments. And then what we do is that we offer this child love, care, we cuddle them. And we have got, thanks God, to the temporary safe care parents that also help us in terms of caring and cuddling this child after we have bathed them, gave them the first feed, you know, touch them and make sure that they're loved, because they have faced so much trauma, they've been through so much trauma. So that's what we do on the first day.
You know, and it's a long story, but I'm going to make it quick for you. In the Second World War, they did tests on orphans, which was an awful thing, but in the one room, all the babies were healthy. In the one room, the babies were fed, loved, they were touched, so that what they were testing was for touch. And in the room where the babies were fed and cleaned, but they weren't touched, they weren't loved, the babies died with no explanation. So the effect of love and touch on children is remarkable.
It is remarkable. Love and touch and that attention and just being there, being present for the child actually works very well, and it accelerates, it's healthy for their development. That is why we take it very seriously, to ensure that we maintain visitations to the hospital where an abandoned child or a vulnerable child, you know, has been placed. We make sure that we're present at all hours and have all the support that we can get
just
to
so
ensure
that they feel safe.
Exactly.
So once a baby is in your care, or a child is in your care at whatever age, what then happens to them when they get put into the system, and then what are the steps, I suppose, for them to be able to get adopted afterwards?
When the child is placed in a children's home, because we don't have a children's home ourselves, but we work with the children's homes around South Africa. So the children that we work with are all over South Africa, as we are designated and accredited to work throughout South Africa. So we do the investigation from ensuring that we investigate whether this child can have, you know, we can find their family. We ensure we place newspaper adverts, publications, and we wait for the period to lapse to ensure that 90 days after we had placed that advert, nothing comes through. So if we do not get any responses, then we do place the child on the register on adoptable children and prospective adoptive parents. After that period has lapsed, then we can only look for the parents, and we go through what we call the matching process. We make sure that we put this child's best interests first in ensuring that we do find the best suitable family for this child. But in cases where the parents have been found, we make sure that we give them what we call options counseling, where we assess if it is better, it is in the best interest of the child to go back home, reunify. If it's not, then we counsel them, and if they also choose adoption, we counsel them for adoption.
And how often does that happen, I mean, for children to go back to their parents? And what are the reasons why those children would have been taken from their parents in the first place?
the children get taken from their parents if, for example, they are not married. If perhaps the mother had not disclosed to the father that they're pregnant, or there's a wide variety of things that causes them to do that. But then they get reunified if we then assess and find out that this family is indeed suitable for this child to be placed back. If, most importantly, it is in the best interests of the child, we will not by any means place a child back to the family if we see that they will be in danger, they will be exposed to trauma, they will be exposed to abuse. We make sure that their rights and their protection is of utmost importance.
Yeah. So there was a story about a little baby who had been harmed by his or her mother and was placed in your care after it had been severely burnt. What happened with that baby?
It was a very sad story because we do see children who get harmed and subjected to abuse by their families, intentionally, sometimes unintentionally. This was a very old lady who was taking care of a child that has been abandoned by the mother. So she was then trying to care, and the child, she wanted to deworm the child, and she then inserted boiling water into this child's tummy, and she got injured badly, and she now depends entirely on assistance. But fortunately, the child got adopted. We managed to find a family for the child where she is taken care of, and she's blossoming in that family. So it is those, good stories that really keep us going.
Yeah, you are an angel, and I think the work that you do is so vital and so important. So if ever there is a way that we can find you more support and help, we will absolutely do so. Thank you
we'd
so
appreciate
much.
that.
Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you so much.